Before we step into the chilling unknown, don't forget to subscribe to Story Echelon on YouTube, where every story pulls you deeper into the dark. Now, let the tale begin. Title: The House That Never Sleeps. They say some houses are alive, not with people, but with something older, darker, and hungrier. Blackwood Manor was one such place. It sat on the outskirts of Ravenshade, its broken windows staring out like dead eyes. No birds sang near its roof, no flowers grew in its garden. For decades, the house had been left alone, its gates rusting and its halls silent. But silence is never truly empty. When Evelyn Hart received a letter stating she had inherited the manor from an uncle she'd never met, she was more curious than afraid. "It's just a house," she told herself as she packed her bags. The day Evelyn arrived, the sky was overcast, bruised with storm clouds. The caretaker, Mr. Caldwell, met her at the gate. He was thin, wiry, with eyes that never stopped darting toward the upper windows. "Miss Hart," he said, clutching a brass key in his bony hand, "there are rules you must follow. Do not stay on the third floor after midnight. And whatever happens, do not open the door at the end of the hallway." Evelyn smirked. "Are these the house rules or just campfire stories, Mr. Caldwell?" But Mr. Caldwell didn't smile. Inside, the manor was frozen in time. Dust coated every surface, but the grand furniture, the towering bookshelves, and the heavy velvet curtains all spoke of a past splendor. That night, Evelyn wandered the halls with a lantern in hand. The floor creaked under her steps, and faint drafts whispered through cracks in the walls that in the parlor. She found portraits of the Hart family, stern faces staring down at her. One painting caught her eye. A young boy, his face pale, his eyes hollow. At the bottom of the painting, a plaque read, "Edgar Hart, lost but never gone." As the clock struck midnight, Evelyn heard it. Faint tapping coming from somewhere above. Tap, tap, tap. She followed the sound, her lantern casting long shadows along the wallpapered halls. The tapping led her to the third floor. Mr. Caldwell's warning echoed in her mind, but curiosity was stronger. At the end of the hallway stood a door slightly ajar, with faint light spilling through the crack. "Hello?" Evelyn called softly. The tapping stopped. Slowly, she pushed the door open. Inside was a study, perfectly preserved. Books lined the walls, and an ornate desk sat by a large window. On the desk lay an old journal, its leather cracked and pages yellowed. She flipped it open. "The house is watching. It knows when we're awake. We mustn't listen to the whispers." Suddenly, a chill ran down her spine. The hair on her neck stood on end as she felt watched. If you're still here, brave listener, don't forget to subscribe to Story Echelon for more stories that linger long after the final word. Now let's continue. The door slammed shut behind her. Evelyn spun around, her lantern flickering. From the shadows of the room, a shape began to emerge. A boy, pale, thin, his hollow eyes fixed on her. It was the boy from the painting. "You shouldn't be here," he said in a cracked voice. Evelyn stumbled back. Who are you?" But the boy didn't answer. He simply pointed toward the window. Outside, Evelyn saw figures, shapes moving in the darkness of the garden. They were watching her. She grabbed the journal and bolted from the room. The hallway was darker now. The walls seemed to twist and narrow. The shadows moved unnaturally, stretching toward her like grasping fingers. She heard whispers, soft and persistent. Evelyn, stay with us." She ran down the stairs, but the grand staircase seemed endless, looping back on itself. When she finally reached the foyer, the front door was gone. In its place stood another hallway, one she didn't recognize. "Let me out," she screamed, but the house did not listen. Somewhere deep within its walls, the house sighed. The journal in her hands was warm, pulsing like a heartbeat. She opened it again, and the words had changed. "The house has chosen you. You are part of it now." Mr. Caldwell found the journal 2 days later, left on the front steps of the manor. Evelyn was never found. But the house, it still whispers. And those who dare to stand close enough to Blackwood Manor on a silent night might hear her voice. Please don't listen to the whisper. Thank you for joining us on this haunting journey. Don't forget to subscribe to Story Echelon for more spine-chilling tales. Until next time, stay in the light.